Hello everyone, DeAnna here with your Sunday Spotlight video for the Crafty Maven Getaway channel. Because I'm not totally comfortable being in front of the camera quite yet, I decided to go with a format similar to Asa's Spotlight. So thank you so much for that idea, Asa. So that right there is a picture of me, and here's a picture of my family, my boyfriend Brian of 14 years and my son Steven. Then comes my furry family. So I've got 3 dogs. Okay, I know it looks like 2 dogs and a cat, but she seriously thinks she's a dog. Like seriously. See what I mean? She sleeps with the dog. She thinks she's a dog. Okay, so really I have 2 dogs and I have 2 cats. This right here is Sweetie. She is my other kitty cat. She is really soft and furry, and she is the oldest of all of my animals. She's a loner, so a lot of times you catch her by herself. We all live in Minnesota, very near to the Twin Cities, and I'm happy here. I love living here. This is my niece Ashley. She is one of my best friends, and we love to scrapbook together. I have 4 nieces, and I love being able to spend time with all of them, and here is a picture of them. Anytime I get to spend time with family, that's what's most important to me. I've been lucky enough to find a great group of scrappy friends. These 3 here in the picture have become some of my closest friends ever. So now that you've gotten a look into my family and my friends and some of the most important people in my life, let's talk about my craftiness. So even as a young girl, I really loved playing with markers and pens and coloring and journaling and writing poetry. I really thought I was going to be a writer someday. My true passion for crafting started about when I was 9 years old. My grandma taught me how to crochet, and she just taught me some simple stitches, but I fell in love with it and learned a ton more. It didn't take long before I tried other types of crafts like knitting, and so many others. I really loved, things like cross-stitching and painting ceramics, and I even got involved in trying to make rugs from fabric. I did some sewing, things like that. But then I was introduced to Stampin' Up! And of course, that was mostly cards back then, but I really loved the paper and the stamps and the ink and the markers and all that fun stuff. So, going ahead several years, I went through a couple of events in my life that made me realize how important it was telling mine and my family's story. I was searching for inspiration on YouTube and found so much inspiration. I fell in love with scrapbooking my stories. Here's just a small sampling of the people that have really inspired me. I have a small scrap space that I feel very lucky to have. This here is my desk, kind of a side shot view, and then this is from the front. And as you can see, it looks pretty clean, even though it kind of looks messy, but yeah, it's never this clean. I cleaned it specifically for this video. This is just kind of some, I don't know, probably terrible photos of my pattern paper. I love pattern paper. I probably have enough to last maybe 5 lifetimes. I don't know. But the ones that are my favorites, I put into these plastic clear pockets that you can get from Michael's, and I store them by manufacturer. So here you can see some of the cubes that I have where I store a lot of my page protectors and pattern paper and some random albums. I also have several rows of drawers that I store things like letter stickers and embellishments and punches and mists and things like that. Alright, moving on to my albums. I have an Expedite, the 5x5, and these are kind of how I have my albums set up. Most of my albums are pretty much coordinated. Black for regular 12x12 yearly albums. The camera albums are for the project life, and then I have a few other various types of albums. I don't scrap chronologically, but I do store my layouts that way. Each year I complete approximately 2 12x12 albums for the year, 1 project life album, and 1 December daily album. Alright, so let's talk about my Scrappy Style. My style is quite random, but my go-to layouts would be 1, 2, or 3 4x6 photos with a few paper layers and some flat embellishments. It's very rare for me to have a layout without journaling, but it's not rare for me to have a layout with no photo. These two layouts represent some of my favorite types of layouts because they're not memories that I was able to capture with a camera, but rather memories that I was able to capture with my mind, and because I do remember them, I could document them. Even sometimes like this, where I just get some images off the internet and I'm able to have a picture, but really it's just about the story. These next few layouts are just some of my favorites. This one I love the fact that I was able to get that many pictures on a page and use that pattern paper in the background that I really didn't think I was ever going to figure out how to use. And I love the way it looks. This one here is just kind of one that was like a in review. I just finished this recently. It's funny, it was one of those unfinished projects that I had to work on to get done. And then this layout here is one that is more of a challenge for me just because it's difficult to use that type of pattern. But I was able to make it work, and I really liked the way the layout ended out. The next few images is something that I've been trying to get better at, which is card making. I decided to try and make it really fun, and I got some Copic markers, and I've been playing with distress inks and things like that. I do have fun making them. It is a little bit more of a challenge for me, but I know for me, I really like sending them, and I know I really appreciate when I receive them in the mail too. So I've been trying to build up a stash of cards that I can just use to send or give someone whenever I need one. And the next few images are pictures of one of my most favorite projects that I do each year, which is an album for December. I started back in 2011 where I followed the Journal Your Christmas prompts in class, which was great because it gave me a starting point. Since then, I have changed it up a little bit. I do a little of the Journal Your Christmas prompts. I do a little of my own, and sometimes I'm just scrapbooking a picture. But it's for the whole month of December, and I really enjoy it. Like I said, I've done it since 2011, and these are just kind of all the some of the like starting pages or covers of the different albums that I've had. This one here is my 2014 one. I'm really excited to get started this year, as I always am, so I thought I would share a little bit of this. And I know this is not the best picture here because of the page protectors, but there was no getting them out because they are stapled and sewn in. But I really like this format, being able to do the pocket pages. And then of course here's that picture of me and my nieces again. I love trying to find fun events that I do through the month of December and being able to put them in an album and remember those times. And then this here is one of my most favorite pages I've ever done, and it was totally a scrap lift. I totally scrap lifted this idea, and I can't remember from who or anything like that, but it was just something I found an image of and just had to give it a go. So I love it. I want to thank everyone for taking the time to watch this video and learn a little bit about me. I will see you next time on the Crafty Maven Getaway channel.